Boom. Hello, internets. Had a question from Joey Swiss, and he said, I'm starting a brand and need recommendations for cut and sew manufacturers. I think I've done a video on this. I had to have at some point, so I'll put a card to it. Um, so I also did a video on watching out for a lot of companies that are popping up that are offering production. I highly recommend. I'm gonna put a card to it now. Watch that video, please, people. If you're watching this, the majority of the people watching this are starting a brand, and then I have a group of people that are art or fashion school students. Welcome. But if you're starting a brand or you want to start a brand in the future, watch that video. Because I'm gonna reiterate it here. There's a lot of companies popping up that say they do all in-house production, and I owned a screen printing company, and I've worked in production for years. I've been to Korea, northern, southern China, Shanghai and Guangzhou, um, Hong Kong, Philippines, all for production. I've been boots on the ground. I've picked the fabric in the district fabric in Guangzhou several times, so I know production. And I know it domestically because I owned a screen printing shop here in Vista, California. So uh, highly wary of people saying that they do everything. Now, um, within the slew of bad vendors, there's gonna be some good ones. So people ask me all the time, "Can you give me a connect?" And my candid answer is no, because I don't know you. I don't know what kind of business you're doing. The good ones, the good vendors, um, can easily be burnt by companies that are unprofessional, or they might be professional and they lose funding, or there's so many elements that make it difficult. um, Being a producer on the service side of apparel, headwear, um, I have a friend that had a headwear manufacturing company. They got into some deep, I mean, one huge client just, not paying can destroy you. And so there's good vendors out there. So if someone asks me, if in my short list of good vendors, if they can have the content, I'm like, no, I don't know you. If I'm working with you, if you paying my consulting fees, maybe. I got to see what's going on. But you can find the vendor that's right for you. So how do you find it? One, I would just Google it. Go Google it right now. You're gonna see probably 10 companies that say that they do cut and sew apparel services for production. So call them and then start figuring out how their terms work, what their turnarounds are, how do they do costing, um, how they work with fabrics, because typically with domestic production, you're gonna have to give them everything that they need to finish the project. So you got to give them the raw fabric bolts and yardage and all of that, all the notions, all the buttons, all the label and trim. And so Google it, number one. Number two, go to a trade show like Magic. Magic has sourcing at Magic. If you can make the plane trip to Vegas, I would go there. They have vendors internationally and check them out. Do the same thing. Figure out their terms and what they might be good at. Um, Now that's for international, more so. And on my third piece of advice for international is go to Alibaba. Now I did a video where I'm like, I don't mess with Alibaba. It's too crazy. I've since rescinded that, and I did another video where I said I co-sign Alibaba as having good vendors. There's just a gang of them. Like it's overwhelming. So you have to fish through that. So it's almost like the first one where you could bypass and go to Alibaba, but to find domestic cut and sew, you probably want to just Google it for your area and see what's there. Unless you're comfortable with trying to have, I mean, like someone in LA do it if you're from another state, but I would highly not recommend that. Hope that helps. Any other questions on it, drop it down below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.